5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You say ready, but you're not really ready.
I know. I was going to take a quick drink
It's funny because I'll be like, are you ready? She'll say, yeah. And then she'll do something. And I'm like, I'm not asking.
I was almost ready.
So, anyways, guys, today is Thursday night for us.
And Friday
morning for you guys. Man, was yesterday an adventure.
Oh my God.
So if you got to see yesterday's devotion, we were at the church on 3 hours of sleep, thinking we were all bad, like we're gonna go home and just sleep.
But you know what was crazy? We were in the middle of telling you guys the whole story as to why we got a little bit of sleep and everything. And you know what it felt like?
Huh.
It felt like, you know, the Home Alone moment where it was like, that's what I felt like that moment. I was like, my son, Matthew, like, oh my God.
So we got 3 more hours of sleep again.
Yeah.
And I woke up at 3:45. I went to sleep at 12:30.
I woke up at 3:30.
Yeah, 12:30 I went to sleep, woke up at 3:45, took a quick shower, and took that kid. Actually, it wasn't Oakland, it was Sacramento Airport.
Yeah.
So we're out there, man, and
Melodia said she was laughing because she said she heard us. She said she heard me, and she says that she heard me say, babe, I'm just going to go ahead and fall asleep in the clothes that I'm going to wake up in. Guys, I'm embarrassed to say that, but I did. I actually literally fell asleep in the pants that I was going to wake up in and a t-shirt that I was going to wake up in because I was like, I'm just going to get up, put some shoes on, and we're going to get going.
So I got up, took a shower, and boom, we were off by 4:15 or so. We took off from here, went to Sacramento Airport, dropped that kid off.
I walked in there with him.
Yeah, because he's only flown one time, and back then he was 15.
And I was able to go all the way in there with him.
Yeah, that was before 9/11 or what?
Yeah,
was it?
No, he was...
they let you go, because he was
because he was a minor.
Yeah,
so I was able to walk him all the way to the door for when they brought him into the airport,
So you youngsters don't know that before 9/11, you could literally walk all the way up to the gate, hug your loved one, and wave as they flew off, you know, but if you're too young, you don't know that, and you think that TSA, you know, anyways.
You know what's crazy? That the first time he ever flew, the first time he ever went to an airport, he was actually going to Hawaii to go see that same best friend.
Yeah, I know. That's what he was telling me.
Yeah, it was the same best friend, guys, because his dad at that time was stationed. He was in service, and he was stationed in Hawaii at that time. So
his friend's dad.
Yeah, his friend's dad. So he had moved to Hawaii, and they, like I told you, that's his best friend. They know each other since elementary school, since they were little. And I would stay in touch with the mom and with him, and they stayed in touch. And he stayed over there for almost a month.
Wow.
Yeah, for a long, long time.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that till today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dropped them off at 5:30 Wait, what time did we drop them off? 5:30? Yeah, because we wanted them there.
5:20, about 5:20.
Yeah, 5:20, but then you walked in with him. So anyways, we were home by 6:20 or so. And by that time, I drank coffee, I had showered, I'm wide awake. So you went to lay down, right?
Yeah, but I stayed awake, though.
Yeah, you stayed awake, and I did the Audible on 3 hours the second night again. I recorded, I think, 3 chapters in my Audible book. And
I was trying to stay awake with you. I was like, I didn't want to fall asleep. And I figured you were going to be done by 10 o'clock in the morning, I figured. And I was like, I'm going to hang in there. And I was starving.
Yeah.
So I was like, 9:45 came. I couldn't do it no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I recorded the Audible, man. The last chapter, I got to listen to it because I was probably delirious. I got to make sure I did it right. I think I did it right. But I got a lot done. And then after that, I'm like, I can't take it. Because I was just going to stay up another day. And I walked to the room and boom, I was out.
Yeah.
And I think I woke up at 1:45.
close to, no, it was about
Or-
1:10 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we woke up really, really late, guys. We didn't even know. It's crazy because today was actually Melodia's last day here, guys. You know,
Yeah, I didn't even get to say bye
I
to
know.
her.
We're gonna see her tomorrow, but
Yeah.
it's been such an amazing season for her to be here with us and everything. And I want to personally and publicly thank her just for being here with us and keeping us company and just for hanging out with us two crazy people.
You know what's
with my
funny
boys.
is the fact that she got to experience the craziness of the busyness.
Yes,
You know.
it is. You know, she said that she heard us. She actually heard me snoring too. She's
Yeah.
like, she goes, I heard you guys snoring, and I just could not. She goes, I didn't even find it in my heart to even wake you guys up, and I was like, oh my God, are you serious? And she goes, you guys were tired.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm just so utterly grateful. We're gonna see her tomorrow, and then I know that your son's gonna come join us. You
Yeah.
know, so I'm really excited because it's a new season and a new journey for you to have your son David here with us.
Yeah, and I wanted to personally thank Melodia for understanding that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a blessing because he'll be here with us tomorrow, and you know, he didn't really expect this to happen so quickly, and I know that Melodia was going to be joining her family, and when we told him, he was just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
so tomorrow he'll be coming, and I'll have a house full of boys, guys, a lot of boys, you know, which is going to be awesome, you know.
Yeah.
But guys, it's just been one of those days where we have been trying to rest, but there's never that much rest, guys. We have a lot of stuff that we have going on. We're trying to, you know, get his, you know, the room ready, and we're trying to get things going for him, and we're just trying to put things away, and just got a lot going on, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's awesome. In case some of you guys are new to this channel, I wanted to show them the book I'm doing. Because I keep talking, last 3 days, I keep talking about the Audible that I'm doing. And in case some of you don't...
have it?
Yeah, I have it right
Oh,
here.
okay.
In case some of you don't know, I wrote this book in solitary confinement, much of it. I wrote 220 pages in solitary confinement because I had to do something in there, right? And, but when was it? A few years ago? About 2 years?
2 years ago.
About 2 years ago, I felt the Lord say, now. You know, I don't know if you know a lot about my teachings or not, but just because you have a talent doesn't mean nothing. The Lord has to release it. And I brought out this old folder with 220 handwritten pages from solitary confinement, and I re-edited. Obviously, I added more because more happened after solitary. And this is my story, guys. It's called Lost in the Storm.
Yeah.
And this is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, you name it. And it's also an ebook. But what I'm doing now is the Audible. I'm actually narrating the whole book, and it'll be on the Audible app, which is owned by Amazon.
Yep.
So my plan was to finish it by tomorrow or today for you guys, but I don't think so.
Which I'm glad that you're really doing because, you know, guys, he's narrated other books.
Yeah.
You know, he narrated his
3 others.
his first one, and then he
Alfonso's?
Yeah, Brother Alfonso's book, and then he narrated Dale's book.
Yeah.
You know, so he has narrated other books, and I think it was time. It was time for him to finally do his.
So guys, this is called Lost in the Storm, From Prison to the Pulpit.
Amen.
And like I said, you can go on Amazon, you can go wherever, doesn't matter, ebook, paperback, and by next week, Audible. You know, but I just wanted to show that to you guys in case you keep hearing me talk about it, and maybe some of you are new and didn't know, you know, so, but it'd be a real blessing if it's a blessing to you, and it helps me, to be honest with you. You know, I put my heart and my soul into the writings that I do.
Amen.
So we're going to talk about this passage in the book of Colossians. The reason it's called Colossians is there was a city named Colossae.
Colossae.
And there was a church there. And Paul is writing to the church in that city. There's actually still remnants of that city, like ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for the day that it's interesting because I want to go to the Holy Land, but I want to go to what is modern day Turkey now, because in modern day Turkey is where a lot of these cities, Philippi, Colossians, Ephesus. I want to see that.
Do you think? You know what's crazy? Do you think that there's a big old roller coaster, the Colossal? Mm-hmm. Do you think that it's kind of because of the remnants of what it?
I have no idea.
I wonder if that's what it was.
You're talking about Six Flags Magic Mountain?
Mm-hmm. Because it's white and the way it's around like that.
Didn't it burn down, or did they remake it?
They remade it.
Did they remake it the same, or did they change it?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think, is that the one they showed in the old school National Lampoon's Vacation?
The white
the
one.
original one. Remember that?
Yes.
But they call it Wally World.
Yes.
Remember? They changed the name. Classic movie. Name.
Yes.
So anyways, we're in Colossians chapter 3, verse 22, I'm sorry. 22 to what? Do you remember?
22 to 25.
22 to 25. All right, here it goes. Colossians chapter 3, 22 to 25. Paul writes to the church in Colossae, bondservants, and we're going to talk about what that means. Bondservants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service as men pleasers, but in sincerity of heart, fearing God. And whatever you do, do it heartily, as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance, for you serve the Lord Christ. But he who does wrong will be repaid for what he has done, and there is no partiality.
Amen. David reads out of the New King James. I'll be reading out of the Message. Servants, do what you're told by your earthly masters, and don't just do it minimum that will get you by. Do your best. Work from the heart for your real master, for God. Confident that you'll get paid in full when you come into your inheritance. Keep in mind always that the ultimate master you're serving is Christ. The sullen servant who does shoddy work will be held responsible. Being a follower of Jesus doesn't cover up bad work.
You know, I like this because even though there's a huge context of it, of what a bondservant was and what a servant was back then, you know, I would rather, let's make it relevant right away, guys, because this is very practical, you know, and there were servants back there. There were servants that were kind of slaves, and it was a different whole thing, right? But what does this mean to us now?
Yeah.
You know, what does it mean to us now? Because I think it could be you working for your boss.
Yeah.
You know, it could be those that are over you, those that oversee you. It could be that, you know, bondservants or workers or employees.
Volunteers, anything.
Yeah, it says,
that you do.
yeah, it says, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service. In other words, I don't even know how to put it in there. And don't just do the minimum that'll get you by, do your best. And I think that's a huge issue. Whether it's in ministry, whether it's in church, whether it's at your
secular
workplace,
job, yeah.
Whether, you know, whatever it is, you know, and this is actually something that, I'm not saying that I learned it from Sharon, but she made it very clear, more clear to me, and how important it was that you always do your best. And I like the way it says it here, because Paul says, don't be a man pleaser. Don't do things to please men, but in sincerity of heart, fearing God. And I'm just like, wow, Lord. So, Lord, you care about my work ethic? And he's like, yes, I do. You know, and somebody might wonder, why would God, the creator of the universe, care about our work ethic? And here's the thing, because we are representatives of him.
Amen.
You know, he didn't get lazy and slouch when he created all things. Can you imagine if he would have got lazy when he made you? and just you look all crazy because he was lazy. You know what I mean? It's like he took his time to make perfection. You know, so in the same way, we are representatives, guys. When we say that we're believers of Jesus or Christians or whatever, and then we do horrible work or horrible presentation or horrible, how does that reflect on the Lord?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and this could go really bad, even in ministry, guys.
Well, there's, I think, a lot of things too, because don't forget that when I came to the Lord, I came for all the wrong reasons too, though. And I began to overexert myself for all the wrong reasons and everything, but I didn't know any better, you know? I began to overexert myself, and I started doing things, and I no longer did them out of the heart. You remember
You did it to please people, to be a people pleaser.
I did it to be a people pleaser, and I didn't know how to say no anymore.
And he said, don't do that.
Exactly. I did it to be a people pleaser. I didn't know how to say no anymore. But the thing is I started to do it because I love the Lord. Of course, I love the Lord. But see, you start doing it, and you start doing so much of it and so much of it and so much of it, and then you no longer don't know how to separate something or how to balance it, and you don't know how to say no anymore. And when I didn't know how to say no anymore, I just became the people pleaser. Yeah. And I was such a baby Christian that for me, it was hard for me. But then because I had so much healing that needed to be done in my life, that it felt good at the same time because it was my place of refuge. But I was like, Lord, I don't know how to say no to these people.
Yeah.
I don't know. So what did I do? I started to slowly just step away, you know, and guys, it almost felt like you crawl under this rock because you don't know how to say no to people, and you want to do it, but you become tired, and it becomes tiring, and you slowly, you just don't go, and you just don't go, and you become comfortable being at home or maybe doing something else. And guess what? Sometimes that's what the enemy does when, you know, he will slowly start separating you from your family, start slowly separating you from the church, and start separating from those that love you. And that's the way it happens. You know, it really, really does. But here's the thing, you know, I began to notice that. The Lord began to show me that. And see, and that's the one thing that I know now. The difference between then and now is that now it's like, okay, yeah, I can do a lot and everything. And I'm like, but man, the Lord healed me from that. Now I'm busy and everything, but I take joy in what I do. I love doing the things for the Lord. And it's like, man, Lord, it's like I don't get tired. You know, it's like we're tired, but I don't get tired because I know what he brought me out of. And I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful. It's my mindset is different from what it was then.
Amen.
You know, it's like before I didn't have the mindset that I have now. But because my whole heart and my mindset and I'm not where I was then, now it's completely different. So I can actually say that I'm not doing it to please people. I'm doing it because, Lord, I'm doing this unto you. I feel joy when I do what I do. No matter how tired I am, I feel joy doing it. And that's the difference.
Yeah. You know what I like too is the fact that he's talking to servants or slaves, or in our day, workers or employees.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he's saying, don't slouch in your job.
Yeah, that's right.
But don't do it to please people, do it to please God.
Yeah.
You know, and that is completely, I love the fact of that, because imagine being the boss and it's like you have these workers that are doing this amazing job. Mm-hmm. And how humbling is it for Paul to say, it'd be like Paul coming to your boss and saying, hey man, great job he's doing, right? Great job she's doing, right? Yeah, man. He ain't doing it for you. He's doing it unto the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing it unto God.
You know, I love that one of our sisters, Sister Vanessa, she had mentioned to me that one of her doctors, you know, he knows that she's a Christian. Mm-hmm. But it was crazy because he visually knows, he sees her and he sees that, and slowly, because he sees her work ethic, and knows that she's a Christian and sees her work ethic, He would come to her and talk to her about, about certain things and just start, coming to her because of her work ethic.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. It's we're an example. It begins to show.
Yeah.
It really does. It begins to show in the things that we do, and that's what we're supposed to be that example.
You reminded me of there was a sheriff in Sacramento County Jail, Officer Waterstrat. I want to meet up with him because he was actually one of the officers that was watched over my pod, because each floor has different pods. And anyways, it was interesting because I was fighting my case. I'm an inmate, but there's a couple times where he would call me because, like I said, I was the trustee. So he'd be like, Rocha, come up to the control booth or whatever. And I'd go over there and he would have full-on conversations with me about how he needs to go back to church. Guys, I'm fighting my case. He doesn't know if I'm guilty or not guilty or whatever. I'm an inmate. And yet he will talk to me about the Lord. Not talk to me, but he saw me as the one to pour life into. It was weird, and I got so much favor because he's the one that made me the trustee. There's times where he'd go, Rocha, come to the front or come to whatever, So I'd go over there and he'd be like, you want some coffee? Because you got to understand, guys, and all you had was instant in jail. That's all you had was instant, but he had a little coffee maker, And it wasn't instant. It was brewed. Yeah. He's like, you want some coffee? Yeah, go get your cup. Stuff like that, And it's like, to me, it's the favor of God. Why? Because I was a trustee. I would clean the showers, mop everywhere, serve the food, do whatever needed to be done. But I believe that my walk in Christ reflected the way I worked. Yeah. Because I did it unto the Lord. Because can you imagine? I'm over here trying to be a Christian, talking to other inmates, and then I just don't. Imagine if I slack on everything. How does that look? Yeah. I wasn't doing it to please the officer. I was doing it to please the Lord. That's why it says here, whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not to men.
You know how many times, the last company I worked for, the civil engineering company, the maid service that he had quit on them.
Oh, I remember.
The maid service quit on them, and out of nowhere, guys, and nobody had come in for like 2 weeks or anything. And I'm a very humble person, guys. I will clean toilets at my church. If I don't. Here's the thing. I have no problem cleaning toilets. I have no problem scrubbing. I have no problem doing anything. There's nothing wrong with any of that. So, I got up, I am an office manager, and I do the bookkeeping, and I do, the finances, and I do everything. I do payroll. And I just got up and I started cleaning. I started, scrubbing the toilets. I started doing all of that. And my boss is like, what are you doing? And I said, we use the bathroom here, and it's all right. Don't worry about it, And I just started cleaning up the whole office. And, for the next 2 months, I was taking care of the cleaning and everything, and I humbled myself to do that. And he didn't, he didn't, tell me to stop or anything. I just continued doing it because I just felt, that it was needed. And I did it. And I did it proudly, and the thing is that I was a very organized person, and I made sure to always give my best in everything that I did. And I didn't slack at my job or anything. And I did over and exceedingly at that position. I really, really, truly did. And then the Lord opened up the doors for my son to start working there and for him to learn some new things in that trade. And even though he's no longer there and he's doing other stuff, but guess what? He opened up the doors right at a perfect time.
Yeah.
And I think that that's wonderful because he was able to learn something new, a new trade in civil engineering, things that he didn't even know. And he took the time to teach my son some stuff. And I was so grateful for that. But, you know, here's the thing. Sometimes we got to not be afraid and humble ourselves. Sometimes we cop an attitude, or we think we allow pride to get in the way of a lot of things, or sometimes we don't allow our teachable spirit to come forth, and we put up a wall and we think that we're better than, and we do all of that. And sometimes we got to start at the bottom of the ladder, even though we're at the top, and that's okay. Guess what? You know what? I've had really, really good positions, and I have very, very good experience, guys. But guess what? I decided to start at the bottom again, and I was okay with that. And it didn't matter to me, because you humble yourself sometimes, and that's okay. It's okay to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. And you know what? Our reward, the Lord gives us a reward in different ways, guys. He blesses us in many ways.
Yeah. So, as a pastor, let me flip it on myself, right? Is that means for me as a pastor, I can't do it to please men. I can't do it to please those around me or those that oversee me. I got to do it unto the Lord. So here's the thing, though. If I'm doing it unto the Lord, that means I have to make sure my heart is right.
Yes.
Because why? Because the Lord knows the hearts of men.
Amen.
We can lie to our boss. We can hide, but you can't hide from God.
That's right.
So that's why I've always taken it very, very serious when the Bible says that that teachers, that it's a good thing, but if you teach someone wrong, they'll still go to hell, but their blood is on you now.
Yeah, accountability.
Yeah, and that is a verse that I don't take lightly. I don't take that lightly. It doesn't mean that I know the Bible better than everybody else. No, that's not what that means. I don't believe that there's one human that knows every single thing about the Word of God. That's impossible. Because then what you're saying is you understand God completely. And I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem saying, man, this verse, I don't know. Or I think yesterday somebody asked me a question and I said, some I don't know, I think both. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a problem saying that. And for some reason, maybe some people do. They want to feel or make people believe they know all of it.
Well, they know everything.
I don't. But the things I do know, I preach it with conviction. I teach it with conviction. And not only that, I live it. Because what good is teaching something unless you're living it? So I like this verse myself and also for you, because here's the thing, maybe you're not pastoring a church, but you're sharing Jesus with your family, with your children, with your coworkers. Guess what? By default, you are preaching to them, or you're being a teacher to them, or you're being an evangelist to them.
Amen.
So therefore, the things that you are doing are not to please men, but to please the Lord. And I think that as long as we have that perspective in our mind, we're going to be okay. Matter of fact, let me, can you bring it up? It said the word perspective in there, actually. I remember on that translation. I don't like to call it Bible version, because that makes it sound like there's different versions, right? Like if you hear a song, it'll be like, oh, the rock version or the rap. It's a completely different song. This is a translation. But right here where it says, I know it said the word, or maybe it didn't. It was the other verse I think that we were talking about. The one you said we already did.
Yeah, it was.
Never mind, guys. But
never mind, are you out of your mind?
But I like how it says this. Do your best. Work from the heart for your real master. For God, confident that you'll get paid in full when you come into your inheritance. And here's the thing. The things of God pays us, it's most likely it's not monetarily, but the Lord pays you in other ways. You know, my son is moving in. You know, so if somebody said, man, what would you rather have? Somebody bless you with $1 million or your son move in? Like, I want my son to move in. You don't understand, man. His mom took him to court. I had him for 3.5 years, and I fought tooth and nail to keep him, and I lost. You know, and he got taken. And not taken like, you know, I still had weekends, I guess. But I had him for 3.5 years, raising him. He was my little buddy, man. And I love all my kids, so, but that's the one that I had custody of for 3.5 years after prison, you know what I mean? And he's moving in. I don't need riches. I don't need that stuff. And God's like, and here's the thing, God knows my heart. He knows that means more than the monetary stuff. So I can say, man, the Lord has blessed me and made me rich.
Yeah, and then on top of that, what he told you today meant so much to you too.
Yeah, I never realized, guys, that he has never had a room to himself, ever. You know what I'm saying? So, he's never had a room. And he's like, Dad, you know, because you got to, when I got locked up, he was 2. He shared a room with Gabriel, you know, and I mean, I'm not going to say his whole story, but basically he's never had a room. Even when I had him for 3.5 years, I don't know if you know my story. If you've been here long enough, you know my story. I lived in an RV when I met Sharon, an RV parked in my dad's ranch, you know, so he's like that. And then when he was taken from me, he didn't have a room there at his mom's. He slept on the couch all the way from the moment that he got taken from me till he became an adult. And he just turned 20, right? So for the last 2 years, as soon as he turned 20, boom, he's like, Mom, I'm out of here. And he went to live with my brother Angel. But again, he had to share a room with my nephews. You know, so he just like, Dad, I've never had a room to my own. You know, and he said other stuff to me, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, for me, see, those are the blessings of God that I'm just like, Lord, I will keep doing and doing for you. And he blesses you. And that's why I don't like when people say, oh, you know, give $100 and he'll give you tenfold. And it's like, you're giving money in order to get money. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? I'm just like, man, Lord, I will give my life. I will give. I'll do these devotionals. I'll do this stuff. And God, like, boom, and gives me something I never even imagined. You know, so.
Which is so awesome, guys. You know, so that's why today, you know, we're just like, you know, let's get the room ready. And we got him some sheets, you know,
Well, because it's his birthday and he's coming.
His birthday's tomorrow.
Yeah,
well, it was yesterday, right?
It was the 27th was his birthday.
And tomorrow I'm making him some ribs, and you know, and it's just gonna be him and your dad or Angie's coming.
Yeah.
And then your parents are coming.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're gonna have them over tomorrow, and you know, I was telling him he doesn't have bedding, you know, so let's go get him some sheets and let's get him, you know, a comforter at least or something, so we can at least, you know, have that for him and surprise him with that. So, man, I'm excited, guys. I'm really, really excited.
So yesterday or the day before, get this package. And, you know, I order from Amazon occasionally. You order from Amazon. Abraham orders from Amazon.
We always know what's coming.
But I always know what's coming, right?
Especially when it's for the church.
Yeah, so what was weird was I was actually expecting something.
Yeah, and especially, we got this, guys. Look.
Ink.
We got the ink for the prison ministry.
Oh, it's a double pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a double pack of ink. So,
yeah, so we got it, guys. We got it.
Yeah. So, that's not what came, though. So, I was expecting I ordered some extra batteries, you know, for the for the light, you know. And all of a sudden, there was this big package. And I'm like, did you order something? And you said, well, I did order some shower thing holder or something. Oh, hold the brooms, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And I said, well, is it heavy? Because this thing's heavy, right? She goes, I don't know. And we were on our way out. This was yesterday, right? I forgot where we were going. Bible study? We were
on our way to Bible study.
Yeah, because we left and then came back,
and
right?
we had to stop at the post office.
That's right. Because I mailed all
the stuff,
the T-shirts and paintings and stuff.
Yeah.
So I opened the package. See the God's blessings. Do you know how many times I've joked, guys? Well, maybe you don't know. I do. Everybody in the church knows that every time it's pastor appreciation or something, man, these crazies at House of Rest, they actually get me something. You know, a bunch of weirdos.
I'll be like, I'll take a chocolate bar.
No, that's not what I say.
Or I'll take an avocado.
No, well, I do say that, but this is what I always say, right? This is an ongoing joke. I do it to my family. I do it to the church. Anytime they give me something like a frame, and I always say, no way, is this a giant Hershey bar? You know, because it's square.
Yeah,
that's I always say that.
That is so true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I always say that, right? Because it's, I don't know, because I love Hershey chocolate. And so yesterday I opened the package.
Yeah, guys.
That's insane, man.
That's crazy. Look, it's huge and it's heavy. And then we found out who sent it.
Yeah, some crazy kid.
Yeah, some crazy kid. Some crazy kid who we've just absolutely grown to love.
He's all right.
He's amazing. Yeah. So, Ben, you're awesome.
Thank you, Ben. Ben is the young man that helps Abraham in the media. And he goes and has completely taken
oh my gosh
90% of that stuff off my shoulders, guys. What he does is what used to stress me out before every service.
Yeah.
Because I'd be there turning the cameras and getting the PowerPoint, all that stuff, and he comes in with a big old cheesy smile and he just does it. Bam. You know, and he does it faster than I did.
He does.
You know, and
he does. He really does.
So we were just like, what is this Hershey bar doing here?
He's the one that has the blue and black gaming chair up there that every time that I sit on there, I actually fall off of it gracefully. I don't know what happens. I sit on there and I slide. I'm like, how come nobody else slides off of this thing?
I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take me to eat that.
Take your whole year,
man. It's going to
take
me a long time, guys. So I've been eating really good on my calories for the last 2.5, 3 weeks, maybe almost 3 weeks. Actually, this Sunday will be 3 weeks.
I've been doing good for a whole
both
week.
of us.
Yeah. I'm doing intermittent fasting.
Yeah, she's doing something different than me. I'm not restricting any hours. What I'm doing is restricting my calories per day, regardless of what I eat.
I'm drinking lots of water, guys. You guys would be so proud of me.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's a whole long thing. But, I'm gonna get a little chip of that right there. Yeah. Right now, I just completely forgot about it. But. Yeah, man.
Not me, guys.
All right, guys. So God bless you. Thank you. Hopefully you like this. Hopefully you like something from this. A lot of you responded that you would help with the flyers and putting them in truck stops. So you know what? Awesome. I'm going to create it and I'm going to make them. I'm going to order them. It's like $100 for 5,000 of them, full color, double-sided. The flyers that we get, you know. Remember,
we got to make the youth ones too, and then we got to make the Bible study ones. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna design it. I'm gonna order it and go to my printer where I've always gone since the '90s, you know. And they used to print all my Darkroom stuff, and now they print all our church stuff, you know.
That's cool.
So we're gonna do it, and we're gonna go back to see who responded. Some of you are truckers, some of you know a few truck stops, and we're going to get your address and just bam, send you, some flyers to put at those truck stops. That way they know about this relevant Bible talk, because I didn't think about it until we start talking about Cholo Trucker, and then some of the other guys that are watching that are truckers, and then Sister, she's a trucker, Stephanie, and we're just like, man, that's crazy. A lot of these guys are on the road, or some of the women are on the road, and what a good way for them to get spiritually fed.
Amen.
So, all right, guys.
All right, guys. We love you guys. Be blessed and enjoy that coffee this morning, okay?
All right.
See you later. Bye-bye.